It's a part of the food sector not without its controversies, but the Irish seafood industry is a star performer when it comes to exports. Last year they were valued at €519 million and over 11,000 people work in the sector. It's efficient too. New technology means that companies like Rockabill in Balbriggan, North County Dublin can catch and dispatch in a day. And their customers can trace the catch right back to the boat and the area where the shellfish was caught and what harbour it was landed in.
Boats are landed, they're collected all by our trucks at night time. Then the product arrives into the inward goods. Each boat is then identified into a computer system for full traceability back to the fishing ground. They then wash the product, bring it into the packers in here. They'll then pack it into each individual grade, weight, size that the customers require. The different weights and different sizes for different parts of the world. So each morning a packer will get exactly what they have to be packed, what sizes.
Within 12 minutes of being packed, the prawns have been through a liquid nitrogen tunnel for freezing and are ready to leave.
Then we have a computer system that will identify each batch, each pallet. We then put it into the cold stores, and for each customer order we can automatically pick and select off the computer what date it was, when it was produced, what boat landed it, what area it was landed in, what port it was landed in. So it gives the customer full traceability. The plant here, we can process up to 10 tonne a day. So we'd be the largest prawn processor in Ireland. We have a fleet of our own boats. We own 14 vessels, and then we'd have anything up to 120 vessels throughout Ireland would land to us. Ireland has an annual quota for prawns. Each year it changes, but over the last 2 to 3 years we feel we've been consuming 40 to 50% of the quota.
Rockabill now exports prawns to 24 countries. Italy is the main market, but also France, the UK and Spain, Hong Kong, mainland China and New Zealand. Last year, Rockabill exported over 700 tonnes of razor clams to China. It's a family business undergoing a €3.5 million expansion, which will see the number directly employed there grow to 250.
What we do with a lot of our customers is we pre-plan the full year. We give them estimates of what we expect the fishing to be like, and we can only do that through generations of history of our family, the Price family, that we understand the fishing industry, we understand the tides. My grandfather was a fisherman, my father was a fisherman. I fished as well, I'd done my time at sea too. My father started off Rockabill in 1983, and we built this plant here in 1999. It was our first processing plant. We've currently got 3 processing plants now, 2 in Ireland and 1 in the UK. And I don't think my father thought when we were building his first plant that he'd have a second or a third plant.
While the Prices look after their family business, Bordís Gabhara, or BIM, is the government agency that looks after the sector. It works with the fishermen and processors to expand the range of what's caught and processed and innovate when it comes to the finished product.
The EU represents about 65% of overall seafood sales, and key markets here are France, where we export a lot of our organic salmon and shellfish and pikefish. Second market is UK. We also go to third market would be Spain, which is showing an interesting recovery this year after a number of years in recession, and it's back up quite significantly. What's interesting, I suppose, is more the international markets, where we see the real growth, and particularly Asia, China being the star market. Over the last few years, from a very low base of something like $1 million, $2 million, we've gone up to €25 million this year, and that's a key strategy for us. In Asia, and particularly China, there's a real appreciation for Irish seafood, a real appreciation for seafood generally, but our seafood, given where it comes from, international, from the Atlantic waters, the purity of the seafood, the safety of the seafood, it's well valued. The other interesting markets are in Africa, where in the Nigerian market, the Nigerian has a lot of disposable income from oil revenues. what we're seeing very much is rebalancing our markets from EU, which is quite flat, valuable but flat, to really the growth markets of Asia, where you have new populations and middle class really having the purchasing power, the money to pay for Irish seafood and appreciating it.
The main reason I feel that our export into China has developed as well is with flights. 8-10 years ago it was a lot harder to get to the far side of the world. What we do now is my own vessels and the vessels that are contracted into us, they'll fish during the day, so they'll probably go to sea about 10-11 a.m. in the morning. They land at about midnight. Our factory has a night shift on to pack this product, so we straight away pack. We then deliver to Dublin Airport at 6:30 a.m. that morning. Then it goes on to a flight for 10 a.m. and is gone to Hong Kong, Beijing, Singapore. So within 30 to 36 hours of catch, our customers have the product alive.
As Irish produce muscles in on more dinner tables overseas and firms scale up to take advantage of further export opportunities, Bord Iascaigh hopes that 1,000 more will be employed in the seafood sector and that exports will reach €650 million within 2 years.